Hello and welcome to Arcadia once again. I'm the first Arcadian, a Portuguese dungeon master and comic book author, and we are here to unbox some miniatures. In case you didn't see the previous two unboxing videos, basically my whole point with these videos are to share a little bit of the joy you get when you open miniatures. At least I always like to see videos of people unboxing miniatures, and in an attempt to replicate that feeling of excitement when you are opening a box of miniatures or a pack of Pokemon cards or whatever, and you don't know what you're getting and you get that extra happiness when you get something good. Well, basically that's the feeling that I'm trying to share here. So we're unboxing some miniatures, again from the Boneyard collection from Wizkids Icons of the Realms. Apologies in advance for some mistakes I might make. As you might know, I'm not a native English speaker, and while in my videos I have the things kind of planned out, what I want to say, in this case it's very impromptu with minimal cuts, so you will probably see me give some kicks on the English language. Regardless, let's get right into it and start unboxing some miniatures. Boneyard is a collection from Wizkids that focuses heavily on undead, so we are almost surely bound to have some undead monsters. From the two boxes that we opened already we had, and generally I've been quite surprised with the quality of the miniatures that we are getting so far, especially some like the Spectre and the Will-O-Wisp, which were remakes from previous collections and were pretty much a very steady and consistent improvement. Let's get to mini unboxing then. I'm feeling the first one and it's a big one. Let me see what that is. Let me show it to the camera. So this is this what I think it is? Is this death itself? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We start with a bang, this miniature unboxing. This is an avatar of death. I mean, the sickle is a little bit twisted. I think I can fix that with some hot steam or the blow dryer technique. So the avatar of death, this has a story behind it. The avatar of death is pretty much death in the way that you're used to see it in comic books and the pop culture. But the way this plays into D&D, it's very interesting because it happens when you happen to give your players the deck of many things, which, if you don't know, is a magic item composed of several cards, and each card has a special effect, one of which invokes the avatar of death. A player that draws the cards that invokes the avatar, I'm not sure what card it is, it has to fight death, basically, and if it wins, well, it gets to continue living. If not, they are dead forever. So this is a pretty interesting miniature. I like how the hood partially obscures the skull, otherwise it would just look like a skeleton. The flowing robes, it's also pretty cool. It has a very cool flowing movement feel to it. So this is an amazing miniature. This is probably one of my favorite miniatures so far in terms of sculpt. And well, I can't say much from the color because it's all basically black, but still a pretty nice miniature to start our unboxing. Let me put right here in the corner so you can still see it. Let's get to the second one. This miniature basically begs me to give my players the deck of many things. I'm not sure they're going to like that. I'm not sure they would like that much to have the deck themselves. Second miniature. Oh, it's partially outside already. This is a skeleton. So skeletons are a theme in this collection. Obviously, an undead collection, you were bound to get some skeletons. But what's interesting to me in this case is that this is a skeleton archer, not a random skeleton. There are several skeletons already from Wizkids that show mostly humanoid, skeletons with a human-ish height, all wearing swords and melee weapons, but skeleton archer are such a marked archetype that you see in fantasy and in games. I'm thinking of Dark Souls right now, where when there's a skeleton with an with a bow, it's like the most annoying thing. So staying faithful to the stereotype, that's cool. I like the pose of it. I don't like the sturdiness of the bow. It seems like, or at least the arrow, it's very bulky and thick. Paint job, it's pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's one of the best that you could get from Wizkids, but it's still pretty decent. The paint job in these miniatures hasn't blown me away so far, and I'm used to buying Wizkid miniatures, so I know what to expect. But these are in the end pre-painted miniatures, so if you're expecting a professional paint job, you'd rather paint them yourself. Probably I myself will make some videos about painting miniatures in the future, but at least for these two, the Avatar of Death doesn't have that much of a color variety to it, but the skeleton is pretty decent. I'm not disappointed in the paint quality so far, at least. Third miniature, the third small miniatures. In case you don't know, these boxes come with 3 small miniatures, which in D&D is medium or smaller size, and 1 big one, which can be large or larger. Third miniature, I have no idea what this is. Is this a... Sounds like it seems like a ghost thing. It's a Dread Warrior. Okay, so this is interesting. Let me... Actually, I happen to have... Oh, no, it's a Phantom Warrior. So I don't remember where Dread Warriors come into and what's their difference, but we got this miniature from an earlier box. It is a Phantom Warrior on the right. So Dread Warrior on the left. You can see that's a very stark contrast in colors. The Dread Warrior is much darker, and while still slightly translucent, it becomes very opaque near the top, while the Phantom Warrior is mostly transparent. It is a very cool miniature, and one that's very versatile as well, because as you can see, it's basically a cloaked ghostly figure. You can use this for a variety of things. Basically, you're not obligated to use it as a Dread Warrior. You can use it as a ghostly figure that raised from a graveyard, and it's a much higher CR creature than a Dread Warrior might be, which I'm not really sure at the moment. Quite versatile, actually. You can use it even as a ghost, as a random ghost. And fourth miniature. The fourth miniature is the big one. I'm not going to see it. I'll try to see at the same time as you do. So what we got was a classic one. A very classic one. This is an Otyugh or Otyugh, or I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation is. And in fact, I have already one miniature of this monster that's not actually from D&D. It's from Pathfinder. I was actually unaware that they made these miniatures for D&D. Let me grab my Otyugh and I'll be right back. So, quick story. Back in 2017, maybe, I was running a Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign, and my players were eventually bound to fight possibly an Otyugh in, the Swamp Fortress, Castle Neritar, I believe. So at the time, I didn't get an Otyugh miniature to show them. I showed a Ballet instead, I think, and it was a little bit underwhelming for me, because I thought that everything else had a miniature, even if it was a cardboard cutout. But for larger minis, it's a little bit weirder to use a cardboard cutout, because it gets two-dimensional. In smaller miniatures, it works better because they're so small, but it was strange for me to use a Ballet instead of the Otyugh. It used some theater of the mind, and obviously the players didn't mind it, but I myself at least was kind of disappointed. So I decided to get an Otyugh because I was going to have a moment in another campaign about 2 months after that, and it was probably going to involve an Otyugh as well. So I decided, well, let's get one. And at the time, there wasn't any Otyugh available in actual D&D miniatures. But Wizkids also makes miniatures for Pathfinder, which has a very similar monster selection. And there's one beast called the Sewer Monster, which is basically exactly the same thing as an Otyugh. And there's a miniature for that in Pathfinder, so I bought that one to use in my D&D games. Let me show you how the two compare. So you can see let's call it the progress that Wizkids made. So on the left, you can see the Otyugh, or rather the Sewer Beast that I got from Pathfinder. And on the right, you can see the Otyugh that we just got from the Boneyard collection. And just turning them side by side, just notice the difference in size. It's it makes the Pathfinder miniature almost cartoony in comparison. And I love how the color in the actual Otheug, the one on the right, is much more flashy and is yellowish. That sounds like dirty. It even gives the skin a much oilier appearance, while the sewer beast just looks plain reptilian to me in this muted green. I really like what they did. This is a very good sculpt. The monster is very bizarre, one of the most bizarre monsters in D&D, with these two side tentacles that it uses as limbs to flail its enemies, only 3 legs, and 3 eyes located in this third tentacle right here. Yeah, it doesn't have any eyes on the main mouth because they're lodged in this tentacle here. It's just plain bizarre, and the miniature just conveys that. I really like this miniature. I really like the avatar of that, but I think the Otheug might be my favorite one. Though I have a thing for monster miniatures. What an Otheug does in an undead collection, I have no idea, but I'm glad they included it anyway because it's a really cool miniature. So far, I've opened 3 boxes of undead of Boneyard miniatures with you, and I had already another one opened up in private. And so far, I'm very happy with this collection. Some collections, I think they are a little bit underwhelming in terms of the diversity of things that they have. And even though with Boneyard you only get undead, I feel like it's much more diverse than, for example, I believe it was Waterdeep Dragon Heist, or the Aberration set, or the Ravnica. I don't remember, but there was one where you basically had a lot of humans and not that many monsters, and while in this case you only have undead basically. I mean, there's an Otheug here, I'm not sure why, but it gives such it gives a very big variety of things you can do with them. You get skeletons that you can use to populate an ancient ruin where your adventurers have to uncover an ancient relic. You can also have ghosts and specters that you can use as mobs in a haunted house, a vampire manor. You got mummy lords to use in a very Egyptian-like pyramid dungeon campaign stuff. And you get even zombies and stuff like the ogre zombie that we got on the second unboxing, that they might be assailing a village and you have to kill it. It gives out a very big variety of possible encounters that you have to do. It's all undead, but the theme, the atmosphere that you generate with that encounter is pretty different. And then you get an Otheug, I'm not sure why, but well, let's just roll it with it. I'm not going to complain because it's a very cool miniature. So far, I'm positively impressed by this series. It's definitely, it has definitely been worth my buck. So I have one last box to unbox from this collection. I think we will be unboxing them very soon. I hope you have been liking these videos so far. If you feel like this should be recorded live, if you feel like this would benefit from a live interaction with the audience, please let me know in the comments. And also let me know in the comments what kind of collections from Dungeons and Dragons or not that you would like me to unbox and for us to unbox together, so you can have the same feeling as I when you are not quite sure what you're gonna get, but you hope it's something good, and well, basically having fun as you discovered what you get and what are you going to use to torment your players next. I hope that you liked it. I'm the First Arcadian, as I said, Portuguese Dungeon Master, a comic book author, and resident geek. If you liked what I do here and in these unboxing videos, please check out the other ones that I have in my channel, and I also have a lot more D&D content. Mostly videos for new players that want to get into the game but are quite unsure about what are the basic concepts of the rules, how to make characters, what D&D is really about. If you're that kind of player, there's a whole playlist for you waiting up right up there in the eye or down below in the Underdark. Please make sure to check that out. And if you feel like you like it, obviously subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends to help the channel grow. Regardless, I hope that you have fun with the video. That's the basic deal of all of this, to make you have fun as I have fun, since I was going to be unboxing the boxes anyway. So I hope you did have fun, you enjoy this, and I hope to see you at the next video as well.